additional knowledge to the community. And of course, this is also very important to compete your colleagues. Maybe you agree or not agree, but I agree with this, because you have to compete. You have to see that what your competitors are doing. If you have a competitor, he is publishing a lot of good papers, and if you are sitting, so maybe being a human, we don't accept this thing, because this is a human practice that we always want to do something more and want to become better than others. So we have to compete our colleagues also by publishing papers. And we want to, of course, keep in touch with the community. By publishing paper is a bridge between you and the community. Works as a bridge. You publish paper, people are reading your paper, and it is ultimately connecting with you, of course. And it is getting the citations, and it is improving your profile. For that, you are getting the citations, and people are reading. People are knowing who you are in this field. So it's also very important to get in touch through the community. And this is very important thing. I would like to stress here, the quality rather than quantity. Quality is the most important forefront concerns. Don't see that you want to increase the profile, or do you want to just increase the number of papers without any reasons. It is not acceptable in the good community. Maybe some people say that, okay, just publish paper without quality. If there is no contribution, it can, of course, you can publish a lot of papers. I agree with you. There are so many venues which publish paper by taking money, and you are familiar with it, and everybody knows that venue, that where you can publish by giving money. Or maybe very weak conferences. I would not take the name of any conference, but you are familiar that there are some conferences where you can just publish paper giving by 500 euro. They accept any paper. So don't stress on the quantity. Just your focus should be on quality, and eliminate any kind of garbage paper or low quality paper. Or maybe you are just reinventing the wheel. Somebody has already done that thing, and you are just doing it again, simulating and publishing in low quality conference. I assure you, it will be accepted. I assure you. If you want to do experimentation, we can do work together. We'll write a paper, reinvent the wheel, and we'll submit to a normal conference. It will be accepted. But why are you wasting your time in publishing papers, in low quality conferences or journal? Just try to publish in good venues. And impact to research field. See that why are you published? You want to give impact to your research field. Without impact, that what is the benefit of doing the thing? What impact your paper is taking to the research field, that field? You are exploring something new. Okay, you are giving some new idea or new direction. So that's also very important point. Now we see the types of papers. Any comments? How many types of papers are there? This is also one of the, yes, this is right. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm taking in the another direction. Every, our senior, he said that maybe theoretical paper, applied paper. But there are 4 main categories of papers which are normally categorized in journals, which you will see that when you submit the paper, they will say what is a journal submission or short paper or letters like this. And all that papers, theoretical or applied papers, come in that category. That is the subcategory of that thing, right? Now we see that how it goes on. The first paper we see is the short papers, right? Short papers are normally, we'll explore this slide, but I tell you that it's a small paper and does not contain a detailed work or just a very narrowly focused paper. It is normally 15 double space pages, but it does not, it is just, I'm telling you that it could be, but it is not the fact that it should always be 15 pages. Maybe it can be 4 pages. But normally editors or maybe journals, they write that it should be at around 15 pages, double space pages. Standard papers, or you can say that that journal submissions. We normally use the word journal submissions. And survey papers, like somebody said, survey papers and letters. So there are normally, you will see the 4 types of submissions in the journals. Like you take the transaction, IEEE transaction, there are some papers, 16 pages paper, 14 pages paper, very lengthy paper, that is standard papers, okay. There are some papers at the end of the transaction, that is 4 pages paper or 6 pages at most in double column, right. And you have seen 2 pages paper also, like IEEE signal processing letters, or IET electronics letters, this kind of only 1 or 2 page paper, okay. And you have seen 30 pages paper also, that is a book chapter kind of whole very thick paper, maybe 30 or 40 or 50 pages. So now we will see that what are these papers and how can we focus on them and how can we write these kind of papers. Short paper, like I told you that it's a very focused on narrowly focused research paper on a central theme. That you have a central theme, you have very focused area, very focused idea on something to solve a problem. Then you take that problem and then you give a solution to that problem, okay. And it does not contain a very detailed analysis of many experimentation or simulations of that thing. It's just maybe in double column IEEE, maybe this is 4 or 5 or 6 pages. I think 6 is the at most for the transaction requirement. Maybe I'm sure it's a 6 is the at most. Yeah. Actually, according to the publication cost of a journal is very important. When you submit a paper to conference, like I give you example, they say it should be 4 pages long. If it goes to 5 pages, then we will take $100 more for this. So this is the basically reason, because it increases the cost. If your number of pages will be increased, then cost of the journal publication will also increase. So this is the reason they keep the limitation. If they don't limit, then anybody or somebody can write paper of 50 pages, but there will be only one paper in the whole journal. So it will not give chance to other authors. So this is the reason that editor-in-chief or the publishers want to restrict the authors to keep this restriction. This is a short paper, 6 pages at most. This is a journal submission or standard paper, 12 pages at most, or this is a letter for 3 pages at most. Otherwise, people will start writing very big papers. So this is the reason that we restrict the authors to be in the specified limit. Online journals don't have problem, because there is no cost of web page, HTML page. You can scroll down and it goes down very long. But for the printed version, of course, it is the. And normally short papers are a discovery of some form of novel extension of an existing technique. It has been seen that normally short papers are extension of already published scheme. Like for example, somebody did a task and it was very detailed, but he skipped one thing, and author thinks that it should also be integrated with that scheme, then it can have some good results. Then he will just solve that thing, and he will just propose a small part of that thing in the paper, and it will compare, and that author will compare the results of that thing that it is improving. I recommend you to go to the IEEE transaction, maybe any transaction, and see this kind of short paper, because we are lack of time. Otherwise, I would like to show you some short papers. That it's only 6 pages, and they are just solving a very small or brief problem, and just don't doing detailed analysis of that problem. Yeah. Same. No. I tell you example. When you go to the ISI web of knowledge, okay, when you search the paper of citation, because short paper will also be cited in SCIE, it will also be indexed in SCIE, it will also be letter will also be indexed in size citation index, or maybe a journal paper will also be indexed in that. But type will be written. This is letter, this is standard paper, like this. There will be type will be written, but credit is same. If I publish paper in short paper or maybe journal paper, it is same. There is no any problem for that. What are the criteria that what we see in that? How original is the novelty introduced? Of course, when you are going to solve a problem, it should be original and novel. If there is no novelty of the idea, you are reinventing the wheel. And research is not this. This is engineering. Research is you are going to propose a new thing, novel idea, and new thing, and original thing. Is the paper technically correct? The technical contents of the paper should be correct. If you are proposing a method or methodology or some kind of a transform, then it should be correct. There should not be something wrong in the parameters, or mathematically wrong, or some kind of simulations are wrong in that. So it should be technically correct. Every contents of the technical aspect should be correct. Is the paper to the point? because short paper you have to be concerned with this, to the point, write to the point, because you have limited space. You are not going to write stories in that, so you cannot do. So you have to be to the point in that. And a limited but non-exhaustive comparison, like I told you before, that it should not be a lot of simulations. Means you make 15 curves in MATLAB or maybe some other NS2, and you are doing a lot of simulations in that and putting in that, because we have lack of space in short papers. So don't do exhaustive search. Just solve your small problem, what your narrowly focused problem, and give the solution of that, or compare your result. And important thing is that will this approach make some applications feasible or easier than before?